What's happening, y'all? Today has been crazy already. We've gotten up, we woke up early, we went to the gym, we trained shoulders today. Crystal made a new workout plan, put me through it, rock solid, loved it. I'm gonna start making more workout plans for y'all, so get ready for that. But one of our suppliers for the keto brick ingredients totally dropped the ball, and we're like a week late on supplies right now, which is just frustrating beyond belief. So that's kind of putting a monkey wrench in our plans. Right now, Chris and I are gonna step outside for a second. We're gonna go to a gun store and check out a gun because I need to get her and I both a concealed carry weapon, and I also need to look for another deer rifle.
Alright guys, we just stopped by Starbucks, got I just got a tea. We aren't drinking coffee right now, and I wanted something to soothe my throat as I'm healing from this cold or allergies or whatever this is. And we are on our way to a gun shop. We're just gonna look at some guns. I think Robert's looking to get one for deer camp, and we also wanted to look at some handguns. We both have been really wanting to purchase one, but I am not super familiar with them and exactly what I want, so we're just gonna like take a gander around and see what all looks good. Robert knows a lot more about them than I do and what I would feel most comfortable with, so we're just gonna look around. Not gonna buy anything, like no handguns today. We might buy something for Robert for deer camp, but yeah, pretty cool. I'm excited to go look around.
Alright, y'all, so we went and checked out the guns. I think I've decided on a 300 Winchester mag in a Remington. So I'm probably going to go get that at some point today. I had to rush back to get it on a podcast, so I jumped on the podcast. That was good. I got another podcast with Jimmy Moore here in just a little bit. Just got done checking my mail, and I've got something from Nomadic Provisions. Let's see what we got going on here. In case y'all didn't know, Nomadic Provisions, they're awesome, folks. I've had several phone calls with them. They are making these nut butters, macadamia nut butter, MCT oil, coconut oil, chia seed, chia salt, 24 grams of fat, 3 grams of carbs, 2 grams of protein, and nice little convenient carry pouch here. So I'm just gonna tear open one and give it a shot real quick here. That's pretty good. Huge shout out to Nomadic Provisions. Keep killing it, y'all. Keep doing what you're doing. Just finished up my podcast with Jimmy Moore and his wife Christine. It went awesome. I'm here at the gun store to pick up my rifle. Alright, y'all. So again, this vlog's a little bit shorter, but I feel like I've talked about something interesting yesterday in today's vlog. So this vlog topic, I want to talk about upgrading my grocery cart. That's basically what I'm doing. So previously, and if you're not into hunting and guns, you might want to just switch to the next vlog. But previously, this is what I hunted with. This is a Kimber 243. There was a scope here, obviously, but this is a Kimber 243. I love this gun. This gun is, I got this gun, my dad gave me this gun for a Christmas gift. My mom and dad gave me this gun for a Christmas gift when I was, I forget how young I was, but I was pretty young. And this is a rock solid firearm, y'all. The quality is superb. I saved up and bought the money for the scope, which I took off of this, but superb firearm. The only thing that knocks this firearm is that it's not a very large bullet. The 243, I actually happen to have a 243 bullet in my pocket. Looks like that. And that, well, focus. Not gonna focus, but the 243, I'm very accurate with this gun, and I've literally hunted a deer, taken out both lungs and the heart, and the deer still ran 200 yards without really bleeding any, so it was very hard to track. And it's just a risk I don't like taking. Like, shot placement is key with this gun, but even with a proper shot, the deer will still often run just based off of adrenaline alone. So I don't like that I can put a perfect shot on a deer and it's still run and me risk the possibility of losing the meat altogether. Real quick, speaking of meat, let me talk about hunting, briefly at least. The best quality meat you can get is actually, let me back step even farther. So we're all on the keto diet here. We're all trying to put an emphasis on eating quality meats, getting the best you can afford. That usually looks something like grass-fed, grain-free, grass-finished, yada, 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 good quality beef. And that's great. That's pretty much the best you can get in the grocery stores. Or, you go to like local farmers or something like that. The best meat you can get isn't on a grocery store shelf. It is in the woods, and it's a wild animal, and I hunt those wild animals because I believe in several different reasons of hunting, but one, from a conservation standpoint, you're allowing the herd population size to be managed, and with us humans growing at the rate that we are, it's kind of our responsibility to manage those herds so that it doesn't put everything in disarray. So that is very important. Without that, more animals die. So by managing and thinning those herds within reason, not poaching or anything obviously, but able to manage the herd, and the animals in that herd have a better quality of life because they have the nutrition necessary to support that population size. So hunting is very important from that perspective alone. But from a meat harvesting perspective, that's the best quality food you can get. The venison that I eat is just top flight. That's better than any grass-fed, grass-finished, cut you're going to get in any Whole Food store. So I'm a huge advocate of hunting for that reason. One deer, again, kind of depending on the size of the deer. Arkansas deer are smaller than, northwestern deer. But, I could fill a freezer full of ground venison, and that takes place of what I would spend on ground beef. Granted, it's much leaner, so I've got to fatten that venison up, but it's a great option. It's a very healthy option. So that's what I'm going to do this year. I'm going to fill that freezer up. I'm going to hunt, fill that freezer up, and have a great source of quality nutrition. So back to the guns. This is a 243. The bullet looks like this. Shot placement is key, but even with proper shot placement, you still run the risk of the deer, running just off of adrenaline and losing it, especially if you're hunting in the woods, because it's very thick in the woods and they don't often bleed that much. So for me, as a responsible hunter, it's of paramount importance to have proper shot placement, practice, my accuracy, and then, be respectful towards the animal, put a well-placed shot on the animal so there's no risk of suffering or losing and wasting that meat. So I basically upgraded my shopping cart from the 243 to this beauty. And this is the scope that I took off the 243. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is a Remington 300 Win Mag, and it's a workhorse. I've got a muzzle brake on there. This is a significantly larger caliber. It's a 30 caliber and significantly more powder, more knockdown powder. This 243 is a 95 grain bullet. This 300 is a 200 grain bullet. So let me put this down and give you a quick little comparison. I just dropped y'all, I'm sorry. Alright, so here is a 300, here is a 243. You can see the difference in the size of the bullet. You can see the difference in the casing. There's much more powder in this. This is going to send this bullet, a lot more energy, a lot more foot-pounds towards that animal, knocking it down, and I'm not really going to run the risk of losing the meat. So that is my upgraded grocery cart. Went from the 243, which again, I love this gun, but it does not have near the knockdown power of, oh, I gotta juggle it here. Boom. It does not have near the knockdown power as this 300 Win Mag. So super excited about this. Hunting season is upon us. Deer camp is this weekend. I'll be hunting this weekend, putting food in the freezer. Wish me luck.